The story begins by showing a king of a kingdom who is going somewhere along with his brother. At that time, because of a child, some soldiers fall down. Everyone gets very angry, and when the soldiers are about to punish that child, suddenly another friend of his comes whose name is Dastan. He bravely saves his friend and starts running away from there, but the soldiers catch both of them and take them to the king. The entire matter is explained to the king. The king becomes very impressed by Dastan's bravery and his personality. He asks him, "What are your parents' names?" Dastan tells him that he has no one in this world. He is an orphan. After hearing this, the king says that from today you are my son, meaning the king adopts him as his son. The king already has 2 sons, and now the king's 3rd son is Dastan. Slowly, time passes, and 15 years go by. Dastan has grown up. He is now a prince. He is also a very good warrior. The name of their country is Persia. Soon it is revealed that there is a holy city whose name is Alamat. That city sells weapons to their enemies, meaning weapons are made there. Because of this, the king's sons decide to attack that city, and along with their army they attack it. The city is very far away. They climb many walls, blind the entire army, and attack the whole city. The queen of that city tells her husband to give her the dagger and says that this should not fall into anyone's hands, so she must leave. She takes the dagger and starts leaving, but in front of her Dastan appears and takes that dagger. Now they have taken control over the entire city. Princess Tamina is taken captive and brought to Persia. She is accused that she was making weapons and selling them to their enemies, but she clearly denies it. The king's elder son does not believe her. He tells her that if she marries him, he will forgive her crimes and spare her life. Tamina refuses to marry him. Then her eyes fall on Dastan, who has now arrived there. She sees that he has that special dagger which she had given to her commander. She is shocked to see how that dagger came to him. Actually, she wants to protect that dagger, and for that she must stay alive. That is why she agrees to marry the king's elder son. There is happiness all around. The king calls his elder son to him. Actually, the king did not want to attack the holy city Alamat because they had friendly relations with Persia, but they attacked it and brought Princess Tamina here. The king's elder son tells the king that they were making weapons and selling them to their enemies, but he has no proof of this. The king becomes very angry. The elder son gets upset and says that until he finds proof, he will not show his face to the king and leaves from there. When he goes out, he meets his uncle, the king's brother, whose name is Nizam. He says that it seems your meeting with your father did not go well, but I have only one solution for this. He shows him a very beautiful robe and tells him to give it to the king, and the king will forgive him. The elder son leaves from there, but he had sworn that until he finds proof, he will not face his father. So he gives that robe to his youngest brother, Dastan, and tells him to give it to father and also tell him that I am going to marry Tamina. Following his brother's words, Dastan goes to his father and gives him the beautiful gift. The king immediately wears it. Dastan also tells him that his elder son is going to marry Tamina. Everyone becomes happy after hearing this. But suddenly something starts happening. Something happens inside the king, and within moments he dies. The second son tries to help him, but he dies. Dastan realizes that his father was poisoned. Princess Tamina runs away with Dastan. Soon news spreads that the king has died. Dastan remembers that the robe he gave to his father was given to him by his elder brother. Because of this, suspicion turns towards the elder brother, and Dastan suspects him. Tamina tries to take the dagger from Dastan. She attacks him with a sword, but then Dastan pulls out the dagger. When he presses the ruby on the dagger, his hand touches it, and he goes back a few moments in time, to the moment when Tamina was about to attack him. This time he catches her hand because he already knows what she is going to do. He tells her not to even try this. Then Tamina understands that because of the dagger, he went back in time. She explains that this is a magical dagger powered by the sands of time. As long as there is sand inside it, the dagger works. When the ruby on it is pressed, the person holding it goes into the past and can change events. Only the person holding the dagger remembers what happened in the past. No one else remembers anything. Now Dastan thinks that his elder brother used this dagger to attack Tamina's kingdom and kill his father. He decides to go back and expose his elder brother in front of everyone. For this, he takes help from his uncle Nizam. Tamina tries to stop him, but he does not listen. Both of them travel through the Valley of Slaves. On the way, Tamina gets a chance and knocks Dastan unconscious and escapes. When Dastan wakes up, he sees the people of the valley who make people slaves. They tell him that a girl has just gone from here with a lot of money. He agrees to take them to her, and they also capture Tamina. Tamina tells Dastan that this is a sacred dagger and they must protect it and take it to its rightful place. If it falls into the wrong hands, the entire world will be destroyed. But Dastan does not care much at that time. Somehow, both of them escape and reach Persia again. Dastan meets his uncle Nizam and tells him the entire truth, how his elder brother killed their father. To prove his honesty, he gives the dagger to Nizam. But when Nizam opens the cloth, the dagger is not there. Tamina had taken it. Dastan notices that Nizam's hands are burned. When he asks about it, Nizam says that when he touched the robe that caused the king's death, his hands burned. Then Dastan realizes that Nizam was not present at that time. He understands that the real murderer of his father is not his elder brother, but Nizam. Nizam orders soldiers to attack Dastan because he now knows the truth. Dastan escapes bravely. The younger brother also attacks him, thinking Dastan killed their father. Using the dagger again, Dastan escapes and reaches Tamina. Tamina tells him the full truth. Thousands of years ago, the gods created a deadly sandstorm to destroy humanity. But a young girl sacrificed herself to save humans. The gods were pleased and sealed the sands of time in a glass, and also created the dagger. The dagger has immense power. It can destroy the world and change the past. If someone goes too far into the past, the storm will return and humanity will be destroyed again. Now Dastan understands that Nizam wants the dagger so he can go back in time and kill the king himself. He also realizes how dangerous the dagger is and that it must be returned to its rightful place. An ancient temple. She agrees to help Tamina, and whenever they set out on their journey to return the dagger to its rightful place, the leader of the Valley of Slaves, who had earlier imprisoned them, reaches there and captures them again. They are taken into the desert, and here some of Nizam's men release extremely dangerous snakes. Using the dagger, which still has a little bit of sand left inside it, Dastan goes back into the past, sees the situation, and kills him. Here the leader dies. Now they decide that they must return this dagger to the temple in the Hindu Kush Mountains, from where it originally came. To help them, when they reach there, they see that everyone has already been killed. They had arrived there a little earlier and killed everyone. Here, the king's younger son also arrives with a unit of his army. He believes that Dastan killed his father, so he wants to capture him and take him back to the kingdom. Dastan somehow convinces him that it was not him, but Nizam who did all this. Before they can talk further, Nizam's men attack them, due to which the king's younger son gets badly injured. The leader of the slaves attacks them with his people, and taking advantage of this opportunity, Tamina goes inside, to the place where the dagger truly belongs. Dastan reaches there and stops Tamina from doing this, because doing so might cost her life. In reality, by now both of them have fallen in love with each other. They decide together to place the dagger back. But before they can do that, one of Nizam's men attacks them. Tamina gets injured, and the dagger falls from her hand. Dastan fights him. Here there is another man who completely controls snakes, and with the help of the snakes, he manages to get the dagger. Now Dastan fights Nizam's warrior, and before he can kill Dastan, the king's younger son, who was already badly injured, kills him and saves Dastan. After this, he also dies. On the other side, Nizam is shown, who has now obtained the dagger. Dastan wants to stop him from using the dagger and also wants to reveal the truth to the king's elder son. That is why he reaches the kingdom along with his companions. There, the right-hand man of the slave leader, who is a very skilled warrior, goes to retrieve the dagger. When he reaches near the dagger, Nizam's man is already there. A dangerous fight takes place between the two, but somehow the slave leader's right-hand man manages to get the dagger and delivers it to Dastan. However, in this process, he also loses his life. The dagger has come back to Dastan, so he goes to his brother, the king's elder son. But he believes that Dastan killed their father, the king, and considers him a criminal. Dastan tells him the entire truth about Nizam, but he does not believe him. Then Dastan explains the full power of the dagger and says, "When I die, press the ruby on this dagger. You will know the complete truth." After saying this, Dastan kills himself. Here Tamina has also arrived, but the elder brother still does not believe it. He presses the ruby on the dagger and goes into the past. At that moment, when Dastan is about to kill himself with the dagger, the elder brother stops him and finally believes him. But just then Nizam arrives and kills the king's elder son. Dastan is captured, and the dagger comes into Nizam's possession. Nizam then moves toward the place where the sand glass is, inside which the sandstorm was sealed thousands of years ago. Tamina also reaches there and frees Dastan, and from another route moves toward where Nizam is going. The path is extremely dangerous. Dastan must place his feet exactly where Tamina placed hers, because Tamina is the guardian of the dagger, and only she can reach the sand glass. While this is happening, soil starts falling from above, and the entire place collapses downward. Both of them get separated, but somehow Dastan reaches the place where the sand glass is. Tamina has already reached there, and they see that Nizam has reached the sand glass with the dagger. They try to stop him, but Nizam throws both of them down. Dastan catches Tamina's hand and does not want to let go. Then Nizam is shown pressing the dagger into the place where the sand glass is and pressing the ruby. Tamina tells Dastan, "You must let me go and save the world. Stop Nizam at any cost." Dastan is forced to let her go, and she dies. After this, Nizam uses the dagger, and both of them time travel into the past. Dastan reaches the moment when he got the dagger for the first time. Now he knows the importance of the dagger, and he also knows who the traitor really is. This happens when everyone is outside the walls of Alamat. Dastan goes to his elder brother and tells him that inside this fort and this kingdom, there is no one who sells weapons to their enemies. This is a complete conspiracy. After hearing this, the elder brother refuses to attack. Nizam is also present there, and Dastan exposes Nizam's entire truth. Nizam attacks Dastan, but Dastan defeats him. Nizam still does not accept defeat, but once again attacks. And this time the king's elder son kills him. Now they realize that this was a holy place and should never have been attacked. They go to Tamina and apologize to her. For good relations between both kingdoms, the king's elder son asks Tamina to marry Dastan. Just then Dastan arrives, returns the dagger, and tells her everything that happened. After hearing this, Tamina agrees to marry him. After this, the dagger is returned to its rightful place, so that the world is never in danger again. And with this, the story comes to an end. We hope you liked this story.